any moment there. Let's get this cracking. It's over here. Alright then, what's going on, champs? Hope you guys doing well. So welcome to episode 16 of Dainks Daily Trade. Question is Bitcoin breaking out? That's the big thing at the moment as well, because at the moment we're range banding at the moment for about God knows how long. It's been back up, but a week or two, and we're not breaking that key level of 20k, which is previous all-time high. And now, do we hold it as support, or do we actually break through? Right? Remember, right? SR levels and range band levels. When you're at the support level, as long as it holds its support, you won't be looking to short there. The moment it breaks, that's when you look into and then finds resistance, and then you look for shorts. Okay, so let's just break this down and let's carry on there. So before we do so, I just want to give a quick shout out to a bunch of people here. We got Jay, shout out to you, Asgard, Derry, Elizabeth, we got Zedanek, we got 2D. Hi, how's it going? I think you're new here as well. And we got Hawk. Hey, we got Jay back in as well. How's it going, Jay? It's been a while. It's been a long time since I last seen you here as well. We got Deviation. Thank you so much for everyone, for all you guys actually, for coming on the show. So Hawk asked, yo, Dainks, can you explain about the ranges and how you set them? Yeah, I can do that. I can definitely do that. Should we do that now? Fuck it, let's just see. Alright, so that can be a chapter as well for anyone who actually wants to see. Alright, so ranges, right? Range bound plays. I've done this before over and over again. We'll do another one, okay? So a range bound is literally you find the low, you find the high, okay? And what happened is price does something like this, okay? I've done it before. I'm gonna repeat myself over and over again until it becomes second nature and blah blah. Okay? Okay, so that's it. So what we've got here, we've got a range low and a range high, and price is capped at that high over here. So you can see it's capped over there, and price of that low is capped over here. We've got a deviation, right? I was actually asked this on Twitter yesterday via DM, so I'm gonna actually answer this. I don't know if the person is here. I won't shout his name or anything like that, because I think it's just rude to actually, out someone. But then someone's got a question, you always gotta help them out, because at the end of the day, what's the point of me actually doing all this day trade shit if you guys can't even take out anything that's good for you to actually implement in your own trading system? So yeah, so you got like you got a range band play now. Price is always going to cap by a low, and it's going to cap by a high. You just got to find it, all right? And we're going to go through this. We're going to go through a few examples of what's happened on Bitcoin, and we can look at ranges there. Okay. Now a range can be found in many time frames, right? It can be found on the hourly, the daily, the weekly, the 15 minutes, the 5 minutes, the lot, right? We're going to do a few examples before we go into the day trade system, and but so you can actually see, I've got a few right on the top of the head actually. So yeah, so then what happens is when price is capped in that, right? So you see this price, how price comes over here. Obviously, you're not gonna see this until it happens. So when price come here, you're looking for if price were to, so price breaks down. You see this price breaks down over here, and it's on the side. Fuck it. Just focus on this, right? Just focus when price comes down here, okay? Price comes down here, and you're looking, all right, then cool. Is this a breakout on the downside? And the only way it will be a breakout is if we find this range low as resistance, and it starts breaking down. If you start breaking down from this low, then you got your trigger, and you can start shorting, okay? But the moment price actually holds back into the range, comes back into the range and holds above it and breaks this high, then we can say, okay, it's back into this range, so where's the next target? Mid-range. So target 1, then you go target 2. If we get above like this high itself, example, finds well, it's obviously untrue, it's shut up. The next target will be target 3, target 4, back there. Obviously, we're looking at consolidations area. That's where you're targeting your TPs and whatnot. I will do a video about this in the future. I think maybe in the coming week or two. I'm actually planning this as well. A few different chapters there. So we got like SRs, we got ranges, we got supply and demand. I've got risk management. I think risk management I'll go first. Really important that you guys actually understand what risk is and how to manage your risk, because you don't want to liquidate your account. I've done it many times. Even though I thought I actually was able to manage my risk, wasn't able to do it properly. So, but I will do that in the coming week or two. It just takes a lot of time because there's a lot of preparations. How I'm going to actually plan this out, what I'm going to say, what's the key points, because I don't want to throw out too much information. If I'm throwing it out too much, right, what happens is that you'll be like, what the fuck is this guy chatting about, man? This guy is talking breeze. But so we're just looking for the right things to say. It's gonna take me a little while, but bear with me. I will go through this as well. So, so I want to ask about a deviation, right? How do we know if price is a deviation? Because many times, right? If, for example, price gets up, right, and it shows that it's holding, right? So that's holding. You can see it's holding above the range high, and you're looking, all right, then I'm gonna punt along, and you put my stop loss, I don't know, like where the mid range over here, okay? So over there, but then price sets back in, and the question is, that is a deviation. How is it a deviation? You see this high, the initial high, we didn't get back up. If you got back up and hold above it, it breaks market structure on the upside. We're following market structure from this zigzag line. So I'll show you. So we're just doing this, okay? But the moment price comes down, takes out this low, breaks market structure, we're going that a lot more lower, all right? On the lower time frame, X, Y, and Z. So the moment it steps back into this range, finds resistance off this range high, then it becomes resistance. And that means support, it hasn't flipped to support. If this is an SR, it hasn't flipped SR. Because, yeah, we did it at a small time frame, but the confirmation was from here. The moment we get back above and hold above and go higher. Does that make a bit of sense there, guys? And that's your confirmation, okay? And vice versa, down below here as well. So if price was down here, and you're like, all right, then we're finding a resistance, but then it comes back in and holds above it, takes out this high, we're like, all right, then price is going to go back into here, and all this was a deviation. Why? Because this initial low wasn't taken out to find resistance. It's the same rule. It's all about support and resistance and understanding how price is reacting, all right? I've been in this for a long time, guys, right? What, since 2017, I was in crypto, September 2017, and then 2018 I lost a lot of money. Well, I lost everything. Yeah. And so then I started learning about price actions from 2018. So this is 4 years in the making. 4 years in the making, and it takes a lot of time. Very few people's gonna pick it up in about a week or two, right? It takes a lot of time, so just take practice, right? So that's the principle of ranges, right? Rewind it back. I can't even speak properly. Rewind it back and just go back over and over and over again, and just keep playing it back and forward, right? We'll go through a few examples. Before I do so, we've got a few more people on the chat, which is nice to see. Who else do we got? We got NR. Thank you so much for that, man. I really appreciate that. Knowledge is free. As I can pass on knowledge, why not? Jameson. What's up, bro? You got Way, nice to see you again. Your home's here to take me lessons. Go for it, man. Take your lessons as much as you want. Stano, it's always good to see you, Stano. Yuki's in the building again. Yuki's my Japanese boy, man. I like that guy. Appreciate you being on the thingy on the stream. Sebastian, what's going on, brother? Right, so let's go. All right, so let's give a few examples of ranges. Okay, we're still going on for ranges, and all right, so I'm on a daily time frame. Okay, I'm gonna show you that I can even get it on the weekly. All right, look on here. Let me break this. Oh yeah, remember consolidation, breakout, retest, expansion. That's the rule of trading in a range. Okay, and a breakout or a range and whatnot. So on the weekly, right? Can we find a range of look here, right? So let me draw this. This bit here, price is in the range. You see, price is just consolidating in this area here. Price is in the range. Now, can I find a range of the weekly? Yes, I can. I can use this high and this low, and here we go. And that's my range. That is my range there. Why? I can see it as resistance, support, deviation, because we step back into it, we come back. And look what happened. We close on the range low, open on the below, and then we just shanked off. We didn't even give a retest there. If I go on the daily, right? On the daily, I can see a bit more clear, right? You see, obviously we got a couple of you see here you go, deviation. Remember something about deviation? Deviation, deviation. The initial high wasn't taken out, or you can use this high over here. We didn't close above it. Whichever high you want to do, we didn't close above it. You see how we found resistance? Resistance. Let me just clear this up, and then you guys can just see a bit more, right? So you see how over here, this is lesson time, guys, man. What's poppin', NJ? Good to have you, man. Sidioms. Michael, what's going on, brother? Nice to have you all there. Alright, fuck. Motherfucker. Sorry about my language. If you don't like my language, then you can just find somewhere else to actually, learn some education stuff in it. Because I'm not going to change who I am. That's who I am. Alright? Ask NJ. I've been swearing since I was born, and that's what I know, really. But anyway, so yeah. This is a deviation, right? So look at the initial high. See this initial high here? I want to actually draw this line out actually properly. See this initial high? This initial high on a daily, we can see resistance, it comes up, we didn't even close above it, there's no smash. So then the moment it comes back into it, takes out this low, then we're like, oh, that really is a deviation, right? Another one, lesson number 2 on this one. See this initial high here? Yeah, we get above it. Does it hold? No. Go on the 4 hours. Let's have a look on the 4 hours. See what happens on the 4 hours, okay? We'll go down one time frame down at a time, okay? And we can start looking at certain things, okay? See this? The initial high on the 4 hours there, did we get up? We hold it, but then the moment we close below, it sells off, okay? Can you see that? We hold it, we literally hold it for 1 hour, 2 hour, 3 hour, gets below, finds resistance, take out this high here, it's a stop run, sells off. We close on the 4 hours, sells off. If we were to hold it here, break out this and break out and go a lot more higher, then yeah, happy days, we can do that, but it doesn't do that. It's just another deviation. Why? Because the moment we step back in, we find resistance. You see this resistance over here? Resistance, sells off. It's a deviation. Then if you were long, you cut your trade. Wherever your stop loss was, don't take the full 1 hour loss, just cut your freaking trade. You know what I'm saying? I see NJ and Elizabeth laughing. They know who I am and they know how I am. I love swearing too much, man. I think swearing is the way we communicate. It's the best way to communicate. And when I swear at my family, sometimes I swear at NJ in it, right? And he finds it a bit offensive. He's like, yo, you're fucked up in it and this and that. But he loves me for who I am. He ain't gonna do shit about it. It's too late now. We're grown ass men, and it is what it is. So here's another example where we take out these highs, okay, there, right? When price gets up, we look at this initial high there. Okay, let's do this then, right? So you see this initial high there? Price gets up, breaks above it, and then we start holding it, right? Let's have a look on the 4 hours, right? So we always got to be aware of different levels in it, right? I like to know more depth about deviation. Yeah, we're doing it right now, brother. We're doing it right now. Just pay attention. Go back to it if you don't get it. I think that's a good point though. I'm gonna do a poll later, probably later, to find out what is it that you guys want, or even drop a comment after the video. It's probably better after the video so I can actually go through it as well. What is it you guys are willing to learn? What is it that you guys want to master and understand a bit more in depth? Where are you struggling? If you guys drop that to me, I'm able to focus on that. If you don't tell me what your weakness is, I can't focus on shit. I'm just gonna focus on what I think is is my thing in it. I will cover ES soon as well. But yeah, anyway, so look at that. You see here? Now we're looking for support. So you see the initial high that we did on the daily. I'll go back because I just talked too much there. Fuck off. Where is this going? Mother. Yeah. So there you go. Right. You see this initial high on the daily right there, where I highlighted on purple. Go on, drop it down one time frame. You can do 12 hours, but I like to do 4 hours. Right. You see this now? You see how this has become resistance, smash above it, hold a support, and we're supporting. There we go. That's your confirmation. That's when you start saying, you see how different this is to this is, or to this. You see how different that is. See that deviation there. See that deviation there. Resistance. You see that deviation there. Get back below. Sell off. You see this. We've now found support. And even if you make it the initial high there, right? We find support. We break above and we start finding support going up higher. You see that? Does that make sense? So this price action is very different to this price action, but this price action is very similar to this price action because we just couldn't reclaim. We just can't reclaim. The moment you can't reclaim, it's a short. You're looking for shorts. You're looking for any stop loss. Because look here, a stop loss is there. Look here, a stop loss is there. Look here, do you have any stop loss? We get smash up. You know what I'm saying? So you're playing it from one level to the next level. So this will be this one level, which is the Q1 mid-range of 2021. This level here was the key, right? It was a fucking key. What is that level? This level comes from this, which is what? 2022 yearly open. That's going to be a key. Do you remember I keep talking about like monthly opens, weekly opens, daily opens, bullshit like that? Yearly open is always going to be key. Is going to be key. The higher the time frame is, right? So your yearly is going to be higher than quarterly. Quarterly is going to be higher than monthly. Monthly is going to be higher than daily, right? And blah blah, right? The higher the time frame is, the greater the reaction will be, right? So a yearly level is going to have more power compared to a quarterly level. Don't believe me? How old was you last year? I was 29 last year, right? How old was I a quarter, like 3 months ago? 30. But how old am I here? 30. Any fucking difference? No, it doesn't make any difference. I think that's the most dumbest way I just broke that down, but but you get the point, right? So yeah, so Yuki says, so when there's a deviation, it's more likely there's a sign of reverse. Yeah, pretty much. It's a reversal because we can't break above and we can't hold. We can't hold this level over here. We can't hold this level here. If we can't hold this level here, we got a stop run there. It comes back down. Then we're like, all right then, let's see how we do it. Obviously, I'm not saying catch the top. I'm not saying catch the top and play. I'm saying look for confirmation. Where's your confirmation? The moment it gets back into this range here, what the fuck is it doing in the range? If we're going to go higher and we're going to have a breakout, we should not come back into the range. You know what I'm saying? The range is there because price has been consolidating. Now we've broken out of that consolidation. Why get back into consolidation unless we're consolidating further? If we're consolidating more, that means price is not ready to break out on the upside or the downside. That's what it is. Make sense? So exit, how old will you be next year, bro? Bro, I'll be old, man. 31, man. Fucking hell. You're 31 before I am. Hey, bro, you're already older than I am. It was your birthday like last month, man. So, what was it? Like number 19. What's number 19? Don't know what you're saying there. Jay says, exits, not exiting too early. When you catch a trend, it's something I'm really trying to work on. If you have any insight, they'd be really appreciated. So, what are you trying to say? Insights on exiting or trends? Also look at the wicks on MAD, on the other ones, an example you showed, barely any wicks, just chilling. Yeah, true, man, true, 100%. So yeah, so once price come up there, we come into this area here. What is it? This is the yearly open, right? Now the yearly open is going to be a key pivotal place, right? Let me clear this all up now, and we can just start focusing on this. The yearly open is going to be key. The moment we got back up there, you see how we retest that original SR, we retest it, we come back up there, and we're just choppy. Now, if you could stop your take profits there, we took that liquidity here, here, and here. We didn't take out liquidity over there, but anyway, we took out liquidity there, right? Stops that were taken out there. If I were, like, you cut the trade there, the moment it holds, right, and breaks above, then it'd be like, all right, cool, let's take out this high, take out this high, we go to this consolidation, and then we take out these highs and whatnot, okay? But price didn't do that. Price instead did something else. How does it happen? This is another deviation of an SR, right? Look here, right? Just look here. Price gets choppy, holds, and it gets choppy over this area. You see how we're making lower lows? Lower highs. See how we're making lower highs, and we're finding resistance of this trend line. Let me just move that and do that. There. See, find resistance, 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 resistance. Key is if we hold above it and break above, then yeah, let's go higher. But it didn't do that. It got down, find this level. So this is a range bound environment. You can say this was clearly a range bound environment. You could use, well, yeah, you can use this high over here. It depends. It didn't really matter so much, right? You can use this high here and this low here, and that was a range bound environment. I'm guessing this would be the mid range. I can just do it as an example right now, actually. Let's see. So this high there to this low there. Yeah, right. Just right off the bat, that was the mid range. And you see how we got below the mid range. The moment we take out this low, then we're going to go a lot more lower. Take out this low, go a lot more lower, and see what happens here. Price. Let me show you. Price did a deviation above the range. Remember, this is range high. Price did a deviation, and if you were going to go long, you can't go long anymore. Why? Because what the fuck are we doing back in the range? That's the question you always got to ask yourself. For breakout, and then it goes back into the range, if you're not asking yourself, what the fuck are you doing back in the range, then you clearly are not asking the right questions. Because price should not come back in. Because look what price did. It came back in, finds resistance off this low, and it sells off. Comes back in off this low, comes back in, deviates there, sells off. starts consolidating, comes back into the range, sells off, and it just sells off, and that was the bear market. That was the further downside, the bear market. Does that make sense, guys? All right. Hopefully that does, man. I spent a good chunk of time on that, on ranges there. But yeah, I'll do another example. I think I did this one off the freaking 5 minutes, you know. So here's another range, which I was trading off a number of times. This was actually on one of the live streams as well. Where was it? There was a range I was playing. Was it here? I can't remember. There was a range I was doing. Do I have it on this chart? No, I think I deleted it. I deleted it yesterday then. Never mind. But I can find another range off, like let's say, let's do another one. One more example, and I can show you. Let's go on the hourly, and let's just try and find something. Oh, here's another range. Here's another range there. Yeah, you can supply and demand, same principle, right? This high, up this low, and look here, another range. We got price is consolidating. The initial high that we got there, we hold above it, but the moment we come back down below it, it's just a deviation, right? There's a lot of practice there, and come back in. Once we come back in, ask yourself again, what the fuck are you doing back in the range? You shouldn't be coming back in the range, right? Then we consolidate again, we get above, and the initial high there, I'll probably use the 4 hours. Okay. So you see this initial high on the 4 hours, comes back, resistance, sells off. Stop run, you see that stop run there? So that's that there, and let's have a look on Control Y. Another one here. We've got a range, initial high from there. You see that it come back up, but hold above it, right? But monthly open was a resistance. The key was once we get above the monthly open, we can start going a lot more higher. But it comes back in and start making, and then also lower low. I think that's a high, a lower high. That's another lower high. You're like, okay, it's weaker and weaker and weaker. You gotta look at it as like a bouncing ball. So picture a ball that you bounce on the table, isn't it? The ball over time, instead of going up and down, it doesn't keep the same momentum. It starts going low and low and low and low until it stumbles apart and stops, right? And that's what price is doing. If price is doing that kind of thing, if it starts getting the bounce is lower and lower and lower, then that means that it's weak. You know what I'm saying? And vice versa. If the bounce is going higher and higher, that means that the momentum is strong. We're going upwards. You know what I'm saying? So it's just the way you break it down, though, really. Yeah, send me a chart later, Jay, and then we can go through that as well. So yeah, when you're trading, do you take other factors in consideration? For example, the inflows of, I don't take that stuff. I don't look at the inflows and outflows and buttholes and cracks and shit like that. I think there's a lot of noise. It really is a lot of noise. Literally, you can just, the story is right here. The story literally was here, because you could play, right? For example, you can play within this range, low to mid, mid to high. Once we get back in, high to mid, hold above it, then we go from mid to high, come back down, high to mid, come back there. You can literally play all this move over here. There was so much time to play. Then the inflows and outflows, they were been wrong. They've been saying there was more BTC on the market, right? Like on wallets and shit like that. What does that mean? Does that mean that we're gonna go up higher? Because it certainly did not do that at all. We just been fucking shanking down all the way down low, innit? So these inflows and outflows and on chains and off chains and crap chains and whatever they have, I don't even know what they're making these stories up as well, man. I swear to God, it's full of shit, to be honest. It doesn't tell you anything. It really doesn't tell you anything. The price was all there. Because look here. Price got below it, found resistance. The moment we take out this low over here, which we did, we found resistance. It was a shorting opportunity. Confirmation was here. Stop loss, you can put it on. You can put it up here. You can put it here. I would have done it over here, to be honest. Playing it a lot more lower, level to level, which was over here. And we did the trade. We actually played the trade on the stream itself. And I made the plan, and it was all there. It was all perfect. And then from there, I was saying to you, we're entering another range, which is here and here, mid-range. That'll be next target, then this target, and blah, blah, blah. We did that. We literally played that game. And that's what it was. You see this low here? This low here was the key. Oh, let me just make this a different color, actually. See this low here? Right? Red. There we go. This is dirty and shorty. You know what I'm saying? See this low here? We come back down, we find resistance, and we sell off. That was your confirmation, and also we're below key level. We found resistance of the key level, which is the Q1 2021 range low. That was your play. I didn't need the on-chain to tell me this. I didn't need the BTC inflow and outflow to tell me this stuff. I can literally just read the chart, and the chart was saying everything there. Does that make sense there? Hopefully it does. Right, let's get back to work. So what we're doing today. Today is Dainks daily trade. Oh shit, yeah. Yeah, so you guys got like a good 25 minutes worth of alpha there. So hopefully that helps there. Now, BTC has been choppy. Okay, let's get back to work now. What is an acceptable time frame to use as confirmation for entering a trade? It depends on what you're using time frame to actually gain the range, isn't it? So for example, yeah, if I was using like, look, this range, I've got it after 4 hours to be honest, right? Right. The 4 hours, the higher the time frame, the better the confirmation, right? It gives you, because there's more time to make the decision, that's the word. Fucking hell, I can't even speak English today now. Yeah, so look for example, look at this 1 hour. You see this 1 hour here, that initial high that broke out. So it comes up, holds the support. It does hold the support there, but it doesn't take out this high there because that's another range, just another range bound environment, and that will be in the mid range, and we get back below and a lot more lower. But if I were to just go out one time frame higher, 4 hours for example, it tells me a different story. It does tell me a different story, and what is that story? The story is that this high was the key factor. So if I were to wait for a 4 hour hold above it, like if the candle was to get above it, for example like this, right, do something like that, then happy days, we can actually start saying, yeah, this market structure is broken and we can still hold in the bullish market structure and we're going a lot more higher. But using this trend line there on the 1 hour, what does it say to me? It tells me this was all resistance and that was a stopper. You've just got to play with the time frame. Is it better? So hopefully that answers your question there. And you've got NJ here for the Rangers. Appreciate that, Crypto Dad. So would you, when you're trading, do you take other factors? Yes, I've done that question there. So NJ go, is it better to bust a nut before or after taking a trade? I like to do it after. You know why? Because like I'm a lot more relaxed then. I'm like, yeah, I deserve that nut. That's me. I think busting a nut before you miss the trade in it. Because if I was looking off the trade over here, for example, and I was trying to look for short, it probably would have taken me like what? This is like at 9 o'clock over here. I'm looking to short it, but instead I took a nut at 9 o'clock, and I was done the next day at 8 o'clock, right? And I'm like, yo, I missed all this trade. So I think it's better to it's better to take a nut afterwards. You never know that. Sometimes you're there for hours, isn't it? You're like, fuck this shit, my arm is killing me and shit, innit? Sorry. Sorry, Elizabeth's here as well. But stuff for now. I look at this up, NJ, man. Good to see you, man. Thanks for being on the show. So yeah, well, as God says, I shorted waves at 634, got a target 432 for on that G. I'll have a look at that waves after, man. Let's have a look, man, because we've just lost. Well, we haven't lost time, to be honest. It's good for you guys. We've done half an hour range, isn't it? So again, like I said to you guys, I am gonna do this a bit more in depth, right? So just hang in there, bear with me. Hopefully today's lesson has actually made a massive improvement into your own style, and you guys can see something out of it as well. Anyway, so let's get going on. What's cracking on? Let's bring back in Monday's range, because as you can see on daily, price is consolidating below this range low over here, this range low to this range high. Okay, what we want to see, right? There's a few things. Number one, this level hit. Sorry about that. Some detailed explanation. Sorry there, Elizabeth. Got carried away when NJ talks, and he really is the devil to my side, you know, I ain't gonna lie to you. That guy does bring the bad side out of me. I'm not normally like this. But anyway, so yeah, so we got two things, right? Number one, this level here, what is it? This level, right, is the previous all-time high from 2017, 2018, yeah, 2017. That was the high, at around 20k. So already, this is resistance. and we got resistance over here. Can you see? Resistance. So now we come back above it, right? Ideally, as long as it's an SR, so resistance, resistance, this theoretically should be support. That level should be support for theoretically, right? Makes sense. SR, it plays like that, right? So support will it will only become resistance the moment we break down. Break down where? Okay, so if we price were to come down lower, right? Especially like, you know, there's something like this example. Price would come back lower, finds resistance. The moment it takes out this initial low here, that's your confirmation, because it's bearish market structure, because price is doing something like this. Although you can range bound over here, but it's still taking out this low over here. Does that make sense? And then once it does that, that's your confirmation. Stop loss of the above the deviation probably here, and we run it down back to this level over here and this level there. Okay, that's the way we're looking at it. But the big question is Bitcoin going to go a lot more higher? I do think so. I do think so. Right? I'm going to touch ES in just a moment, and I'm going to touch dollar index as well in a moment, and I'm going to just briefly just say that SR is the key right now. SR is what? This is the SR. That's support. It's now still support. As long as it holds, it's going to be support. Right? So we can start looking at longs. Okay? It has been a tricky one though. I ain't gonna lie to you. I've not liked it at all. Because playing this Monday's range, right? Look at this, man. These small body candles here. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Like it's basically a full week worth of small body candles here. Like these small body candles over here, right? That's a range, you can say. That's the deviation there. The moment we step back into it, we're going to get expansion. Expansion to target 1, target 2, and then we go a lot more higher. Potentially, we can see we go up to here and here and here. So we got all this move to play to see if we can get a deviation. Remember what I was talking about? Price was in a range bound environment. Well, actually no, fuck. Quarterly. Let's go to quarterly. Let me just delete all this shit. And we can just show this to you guys. Quarterly. Check that inverse head and shoulder. Yeah, I will do in just a moment, brother. So, as you can see on the quarterly, let me remove all this as well, because I don't need that no more. This as well. Cool. Can you see this? That's another range right there. Range high. Range high. Range low. Price has been capped. That's resistance. You see that's resistance over here, and that's resistance here. Now we come down and we're like, that's the chunk below. Now the quarterly closes in literally 7 days, right? 7 days, and that's a range, as we can see. Okay, there's a range in itself, and if you look on the monthly, right, you can see price has just range bound. If price were to close above on the monthly, right, above here, above this level, we would have gone a lot more higher. So 90k, 100k and whatnot. Never did that. We closed below it, man. There's a deviation. You know, that's another deviation there. Price is always going to do whatever it wants to do. You just got to try and understand and read it as it is. Now, we're looking at this now. Okay? Price, like I said to you, price is in the consolidation. After the consolidation, you got a breakout. So let's just say this is consolidation. If this was the breakout, if this candle here is the breakout, we should get a retest. A retest and expansion, right? Because remember, price follows 4 rules in ranges: consolidation, breakout, retest, expansion. Those are the 4 rules. We've got consolidation over here. We've got a breakout, potentially a breakout. Is it a breakout? Can we go a lot more lower? Are we gonna go back to 0? Are we gonna go back to here? We don't fucking know, but let's just say it is a breakout. So this is a breakout, and this is gonna be a retest. We should look for a retest, right? The retest should come over here, off this range low. The minimum off this low here. Too many squiggles and shit. Off this low here. That's the minimum off the monthly. Which is why I believe that we're gonna go a lot more higher. Because you don't have, there's no such thing as price. Even when price broke out over here, right? Look on the daily, right? On the monthly, we look at price going up here. Even when price on the daily, on the motherfucking daily, right? Price got up. Let's look at the 4 hours. Maybe on the fast we see something, because it just looks like a strong breakout which never been retested. I didn't actually. Yeah. Price, okay, price broke out, okay? It broke out, never did a retest over here. Never did a retest of all-time high, which is not a problem. But, right, I know I'm going off topic here, right? However, right, we can say this. And let me get another chart. BTC USDT. Man, I am going off a tangent of a motherfucking tangent, man. What the fuck am I doing? Let's have a look. Let's do this. BTC USD. Binance. There we go. Yo, my fucking chart is here. Oh, so that's where it was, motherfucker. Dude, that was the original chart I did. Oh shit. Okay. It was on Binance BTC USD. Okay. Well, I can look at that later. Anyway, that doesn't really matter. BTC USD and index. There we go. So yeah, here we go. So we can say, right, this. Let's just say that's range. Fuck off. Where are you, motherfucker? Go good. There we go. Range high, range low. Alright. Price consolidated. Consolidation. Breakout. Retest. How deep is the retest? We don't know. Right, but the moment it holds above this and breaking the bullish market structure, we can start looking at an expansion. Obviously, level to level to level. There's all these levels that we're gonna work out before we even look at higher prices. All these levels we're gonna take out. You understand? That's all it is. It really is that. Fucking hell, man. I actually did a complete outlook here today, man. Whew. I'm gonna need a cigarette in a moment, man. Does that make sense there, guys? I know I went off on a fucking tangent there, but I literally did a whole lesson of it, what should we call it? Price of and range bound environments and shit like that. Which I just showed you there, that price is always in a fucking range. You can see price was in a range for the last 2 years there, right? Price was in a range over here for the last 2 years. Price was in another range for another year and a half. It's always in the freaking range. You just gotta find it. You've got to zoom out and be like, you know what? What are you trying to do? What are you trying to hide from me or from the world that people are not able to see, but I'm gonna see? And that's all it is. It really is that. You gotta look at it as this way: is that price is always gonna actually do something. You've just gotta. I'm trying to give you the tools for you to try and understand how to read it. Is crypto your full-time job? Yeah, it is actually. I quit work, the healthcare sector, back in September 2017, and shortly after was a bear market. But obviously, if you're gonna quit your work full time, I don't say do it until you've got capital. It's not so easy, because when bear market hits, which it has hit, it does hit hard as well. And when you've got bills to pay, family to look after, X, Y, and Z, it can get tricky as well. So there's always stress. Don't get me wrong, like just because I'm sitting here and I'm chilling out and whatever, smoking a cigarette, doesn't mean I'm not stressed. I'm always fucking stressed. But I enjoy it to be at home. I'm close to my mom, and whenever my family needs support, I'm always there to support them, without a doubt. Like the other day, my uncle needed me to actually help him move some stuff and whatnot. It was during the day. At 3 o'clock, he was on his own and shit like that, and then he gives me a call, and I'm like, "Yo, listen, I can do it, man. Just jump down." And it's always beneficial, like for my family, which I love. Yuki ask, is width of the range matter? No, it doesn't. It doesn't really matter, man. It's you just gotta look at where price is capped. That's all it is. That's all you gotta do. So, like, what do you mean by width? If you don't mind me asking, do you mean like how long it goes through? Is that what you're trying to say? Because if that's what you're trying to say, as long as you got a minimum one touch, right? One touch, you can just like. That's why it takes practice. It takes practice to, like, when you're doing things live, right, and you don't have all this data to go hide inside, right? That's when you start thinking to yourself, all right, okay. You can start looking for highs and lows. Is this so? I could, like, let's just say from here, I can say that's a high and that's a low and that's a range over here. I can still play within this range. It's not a problem, because it is a range-bound environment. Because you can see, price is stuck within this little bit here. The moment we get below it, there's a breakout. Okay. So I will go over that over time, and we are gonna pick out ranges as we go through live. So pay attention to them as I do them as well, because like a lot of the shit that I do, the charting and whatnot, is all alpha stuff because it's your benefit, it's your gain. But yeah, let's get cracking onto trades, man, because this is going on for long. I think this is we could do a whole another video if you guys are interested on this as well, like a study kind of program kind of shit. But yeah, let's have a look. What's knocking on my door? 1 second, someone's knocking on my door. Ah, fuck 'em. I can't be like, oh, starting to say anything today. So, range width looks sorry, Yuki says, range width looks width of range for last 2 years. What do you mean, sorry brother? I didn't quite understand that. Like, are you talking about like the 2017 high to like the 2018 high low? So the range width from 2020 to 2022 seems wider than yeah, it can be as high as it wants to fucking be, dude. It can be as high, like range. A range band can be this small, or it can be this big. Doesn't fucking matter. Still, this high caps and this low caps the market. Deviation, 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 deviation. Or it can be like that. Oops. It doesn't matter how exactly, as long as we got the high and the low that caps the market. Support, support, deviation, deviation. It doesn't matter how high or how much, because the price looks much more wide over here. The reason why is because we've just had a lot more money in the system, a lot more money here, right? Can you see? Yeah, you can see. So we have a lot more money here. It's all expansion, massive, massive money in there, more money than we ever had over here. You know what I'm saying? Here we had just about 1 trillion here. Now we've got 3 trillion. So of course price is going to be, of course, like we're going to hit higher prices and we're going to make wider ranges. So it's just where the relativity in terms of what the money's in the market. Does that make sense there? All right then, day trade now. Let's do this, man. I'm going to sidetrack like a motherfucker over here. All right then. So where are we? So we're looking at Monday's range, right? So Monday's range, we're going to look at the short because it is, I have gone on for 45 minutes on range, isn't it? No, it's okay, man. Don't worry about it. Like Japanese is your first language, so you don't have to apologize. I can understand what you're trying to say when you break it down, so it's all good. Then to be fair, your English is quite good as well. I can understand that. Yeah, 1 second, Asgard. Just let me just talk about Bitcoin first, and we'll go into ES and dollar, and then we'll call it a day, really. Alright, so let's just try and get this as quickly as done as possible because we spent a lot of time on ranges for you guys, which is not a problem. Hopefully you guys gain a lot from it and it's from your own benefit as well. So 19637.03, that is range low. Okay, that's Monday's low. So as you can see here, price is in a range. Don't believe me? Here you go. Right, I've got a bunch of lines here. Let me just remove some of this shit here. This trend line here is acting kind of booky, you know, it's a bit funky over there. But anyway, like I said, as long as this look there, as long. So, alright then, let's just have a drink of water, recompose. Victor, what's going on, brother? I'm doing well, man. How you? Did a freaking 40 minutes lesson on ranges there. Be useful for everyone to actually go back as well, man. 31 on the chat, man. Appreciate you guys. Hit the likes button, man, and hit subscribe if you haven't subscribed. I'm really happy that I'm over 700 subscribers, man. Alhamdulillah for that. So yeah, so price is now acting a bit funky. You know what? I'm gonna get a clean chart, just a clean chart. I'm gonna come back to this in a moment. BTC, USD. Okay, just the index. Okay, I'm gonna delete all this stuff, right? Nice and clean, nice, because there's too much lines, and I do get a bit of a headache from seeing too much lines. Where was Monday's low again? And we're just going to play this really simple, okay? Really, really simple. This is Monday's low and that's Monday's high. The high comes in at, let's have a look, 21,039.07. Alright, cool. Go on the 1 hour and you can see price is actually acting a bit funky here. Alright, I actually thought from this high here that we were going to make it was going to go a lot more higher. So it was my trigger, right? Once we got into this hold over here, it was another trigger there. But the fact is, when the price gets back below it here and we find resistance, it doesn't look good. It's just looking heavy. The moment we step back into this range and we find resistance here, all this was a deviation. Okay. So then that was signed to cut the trade. You know, it was signed to cut the trade because we can go a lot more lower, potentially to mid range, and then that's what we did, and it's been choppy. So price has been playing for the past 4 days in this Monday's range. Alright? So the question is, what's happening now? Where are we going? What are we going to do? How are we going to do this? Right? Looking at yesterday, right? So this is Monday's low, right? And then this was Tuesday's low was over here. We're taking out Tuesday's low, right? Yeah, this was Tuesday's low. That was Tuesday's low. We took out Tuesday's low, we find some resistance, we get above it, deviation, come back above, and then we find it where we are, we're finding support off Tuesday's low. Okay, so that's a good sign. And another good sign that I was looking at, right, is the fact that when price got down to below the mid-range, I was thinking, alright, then we're going to take out range low. And if we take out range low, hard stop would have been over here if you want to play, but there would have been stops at range low. But the fact is, we just held above this level here. That's an SR. You see, this low here became an SR because that was a deviation. We hold the support and go a lot more higher, and then we reclaim. Where was, yeah, we reclaim Tuesday's low, and now where's the magnet in price? Magnet in price should be here. However, we're going to find some sort of resistance of this area here. So this was the last high when we step back into the range, right? You see, ready to see where the deviation, where the resistance is. Resistance at the moment is actually sitting on this block here, this blue block here. Why? That's resistance. We're coming back into it. If we break down below it, then it's a short back to range low, right? That will be a trigger. Off we go. Start going up lower. Stop loss above here. Okay. But I'm saying we're gonna go a lot more higher. I think we're gonna go higher. But how are we gonna play this? Wait for it to go up. The moment it goes up, let it do its thing. The initial high that we have, break above it, hold it. Let's go a lot more higher. That's your trigger. Let's go more higher, right? The moment we step back into the range, you gotta ask yourself the same question: what the fuck are you doing back in the consolidation? Okay, so that's it for me in terms of BTC. Really, it's been a tricky one, to be honest as well. There's nothing much to say. It's literally a range bound play, and you literally scalp it level to level, level to level to level to level, back all these levels. All these Fibonacci's have a level there, and it's significant there. So we just got to keep an eye on BTC, to be honest, see how that goes. Nothing much can be said. It's been a tricky play, to be honest, in my opinion. Because obviously you could say from this, from this, right, we've broken down, we've got a deviation, come back above, come back, resistance, we should sell off. Like the indication is saying we should sell off, but we've got that 20k level, you know, the previous all-time high. I just draw that out there actually. Let's go. Put this right here. It's about there. You can see off this on the 1 day, let's go on the 1 hour, that we didn't tag it. According to this chart, we didn't tag it. Actually, we did. We tagged it and we held a support. So again, it does give us an indication that as long as we hold this, the previous all-time high, it's going to be support. So we can lean towards bullish, short term over here, right? Up here, then there. Again, once we hold above it, start playing it a lot more higher. Then that's when we get to the breakout, and where will be our stops. We've got a range bound environment over here. That's a range high, and that's a range low and range high. Find out the mid range, that'll be around the mid range. Stop loss over here, take profit over here, reclaim, take out this high and then this high, and that'll be the trade done. And then we play from level to level, see what's going on. Remember, 22,000, the 22,000 marker is actually the 100 weekly EMA. So I would like to see us smash above it on the weekly, right? Because it's a weekly EMA, and I'm going to use the same time frame as what the EMA is. If we get above it, that's good. If we get it and we tag it and we come back below on the weekly, it's not good. Then it looks like, you know, there could be a potential more downside, and that was just a bear market pump. That's what it was. All right, so that's that there. That's thingy BTC. The reason why I'm also leaning bullish. Let's go on to dollar. Talked about dollar yesterday, and I was showing you. If you didn't check it out yesterday. Go on the stream, episode 15. It's all got chapters on there. The DXY, and I talked about how we were making lower highs off certain highs itself. And just look here, right? So, what the fuck is going on here? Let's put this back on. So, obviously, we find some. It's choppy again, just like BTC. It's choppy. Right, this area here is going to be resistance. What is this? That is the consolidation, which sent the market lower. We got back up, got into resistance again. It comes back into this consolidation. You got to ask yourself, what the fuck is price doing in consolidation? If we're going to go break higher, why not break up higher, go a lot more higher? But it didn't. So when you ask yourself that question, you start working out why. Because then you're like, okay, this is the mid range itself, approximately the mid range, and we're finding resistance. This is the mid-range of this range over here, the blue box. We're finding resistance. The moment, right, we start doing this, break down, hold above it, get into this consolidation over here, then you'll be like, all right, that's the trigger. We're going a lot more lower, off we go. Okay, now that's that. That's dollar index. Now ES, S&P. Let's have a look. Yeah, the ES is showing strength here, though, to be honest. So let's just recap quickly what it is. On the daily, what I've got as ranges, I've used, again, you can use ranges for anything. You can use the daily, yearly, weekly, whatever range. I'm just the yearly range on this one. So I've got 2021 range high, a low, range high, and we've got a deviation there, and we've got, as you can see, let me show you. Can you see that wick there? That wick above the high, that's a deviation because we step back in. This is a consolidation. The moment we check below it, it's got to sell off. Okay, so that's that there. So resistance is at range high. Support is at range low, right? Because look what happened there. Right, let's just zoom into here. I'm gonna take this off. Look here. We've got a low here. Oops. Yep, we've got a low here. Motherfucker. Got a low there. Stop, run, close back into the range. Then you gotta ask yourself, what the fuck is price doing back in the range? We're going back higher. We've got this a gap to fill out, so it's looking decent there. But now, if I draw back into my ranges, let's go on the 4 hours, right? 4 hours can give us a bit more story there. So look here. The 4 hours is telling me this. This is a range. Why? If we go on the 1 hour, I can see price is actually choppy in this area. It's a range, right? So I can say agree that's a range, right? I use the 4 hours there to get my range. Cool. Price breaks up, and we have a retest, a deep pullback or a retest, and look at this high over here. We've broken above it once. There's a deviation, comes down, back below it here, and we're going back above it as well. Again, if we take out this high here, now if we close above this high here on the 4 hours, then you got to say to yourself, hang on a second, because if price was going to deviate and close back into the range over here, why did he bounce back up taking out this high and still holding the high over here? So the problem is we got here is this block. This is the last high, send the market down low, and it's causing some sort of fucking nonsense bullshit there. You can see it, right? See that resistance over here? So the moment we step back into the range, hold above it, we start filling out this gap over here, and then we can start targeting this here. That's 25% of the range, and if ES is pushing up, I think BTC pushes up too as well. So the fact that ES is going up and dollar looks like it's breaking down, BTC is going to have to follow suit. It's just lagging a little bit, you know what I'm saying? It's just lagging, and that's all it is. There's nothing else we can do about it, but we're just going to be a bit more patient about it, see how long this consolidation is, because this is not a consolidation on ES. ES is not showing me a consolidation, it's actually showing me a breakout. This is a breakout retest expansion. You know what I'm saying? So we'll see what happens. We'll have to see what happens. So it's looking quite good therefore in terms of ES. But yeah, man, fuck, I am shattered. My brain feels fried, I'm not gonna lie to you. teaching is fun. I enjoy it. I really do enjoy it, but it does take a lot of energy out of you. So I'm gonna actually call it a day really as well. I think the trades are pretty simple. It's all planned out there. And waves. I mean, the waves is the same thing, man. Fuck. USDT. Yeah. So waves. Get out. I think SC covered in the stream, didn't he? Same process actually. Nothing really changed. Let's go with 30. Waves is fucking weird to play with. I ain't gonna lie to you. It's like a pump and dump. This is. So we've come into this high over here. That's what we've done. So we find support off this high over here. Price is the consolidation over here. That's the consolidation. That's the low, and that's what it is. Yep, that's the consolidation. How can I say that? As price deviates, it gets back into it. Deviation, support, gets back up, gets breakout, retest, deep retest, and breaks at this high and goes a lot more high. Okay, cool. So we are in this range. We're back into this range there, and what's happened right now? We've actually capped at the mid range. Okay. Question is, waves. That's the thing is, if Ethereum pushes, if you oh, thank you, man. I appreciate it. Thank you, man. I haven't gone to gym for 3 weeks, man. I feel weak as fuck. But I'm gonna go back today. I think after I'm gonna take a break and then smoke a cigarette and chill out, and probably go in the evening. But yeah. So yeah, let's play this then. Sorry, we found resistance off the mid range. Okay, so we're coming back to range low. That's what it means to me right now. So if we go on the 4 hours, let's have a look. Yeah, I think this is what happens. As long let it do its thing. We've got, you see this pump over here. We've got like inefficiency to fill up. So if it does fill up, the moment that as long as it holds this range low, right, and I can target there, which is target 1, which will be about 640, and hold above it. Target 2 will then be around 720, call it there, the 720 level. Get above and hold above it, then the next target will then be 795, and then we're looking for a range high, which is around 872. That's it for waves. If waves were to get above and break out, and then I don't see why not. I mean, it's been consolidating in this area here for the last May, June, about a month and a half. So then we get above, hold that, take out this highs over here, into this consolidation over there, into this consolidation over here, and then we take out these highs and whatnot. We play level to level as it is, but I'd say for now the focus gotta be within this range over here, from low to mid to high. Right, still range band play, and that's what it means, and that's what waves is to me at the moment. Okay, hopefully that helps us, God. And yeah, I'm gonna call it a day. Appreciate that, and catch you guys tomorrow. Love. Thank you so much for actually being on the stream as well. I really appreciate that. Like, you guys had a lot of good questions as well. It was actually a really good stream, to be honest. It just I'm so sorry that I feel really tired. I've had a roughed up morning in the morning anyway. But so ask questions, man. Even if you ask them the same question like 10 times, we'll go for it 10 times as well to get it. The moment you get it, it's your benefit, not mine. So hopefully that helps, and I'm going to call it a day. Thank you so much for everyone. There's a lot of people here. There's Victor, Pan, Asgard, Jay, Elizabeth. You got Juicy, you got Jameson, Victor, Yuki. Yuki's my Japanese brother. Optimus, it's always good to see you here as well. Jay, Franciscos, NJ was here earlier on. Divinci, Crypto Dad, Sebastian. We got, who else? I did Jameson already. So yeah, and then got Michael O'Grady, Sidiums, and we got Hawk, Stano, Way, NR, Dagsy. Thank you so much, man. Zdanek and Turdy as well, and Derry. Thank you so much for actually being on the show. Really appreciate that. Smash the likes as well. Any questions you have, leave it in the comment section, and I'll do my best to actually answer it for you. Okay? So take care, guys. Love.